how this UPSC came into the picture? Like what made you motivated?
My curiosity took in and I started researching and I made the decision, okay, why not give it a shot?
I think that you have prepared for about 3 years.
2.5 years.
And on what stage you started exploring public policy?
Even this term, public policy as a career, did not exist in my knowledge. So then I came to know about it and I researched about it, and I felt that it is a good fit for me.
How you are going to explain one day as a public policy professional?
After getting placed at EY, what I could see is that working there gives me a lot of exposure in terms of interacting with various stakeholders.
What is one thing which you think is the biggest misconception when it comes to public policy?
The biggest misconception exists that policy can be only made by government, कि सरकार ही चलाएगी.
My name is Priyanka and I am the founder of Public Policy Puzzle. And here we are having our first episode of our podcast wherein we will be sharing the real stories behind the young people of the India who made their own way to public policy field.
Today we have our amazing guest Sristy with us.
Hi
Sristy.
Hi Priyanka.
Sristy's journey is quite interesting. Like she's hailing from Siliguri. She has done her engineering. She has worked as a software developer with Bosch. She has then also prepared for UPSC civil services. She gave a very good 3 years for the UPSC preparation. Then somehow public policy happened to her.
Yes.
Yeah. And then she landed up to a professional program in public policy, and currently she is on the front line, I can say, and she is dealing with how exactly public policy works in a consultancy, or Ernst & Young is one of those top 4 consultants, and how life as a public policy professional is for her. So Sristy, before we begin, I would like, although we have this conversation multiple times, I know you, it's a long relation.
Yes, absolutely.
But I would like you to start from a place exactly how engineering happened to you. What is the family influence? How the place influence your choices? From which background you're coming from.
Okay, thank you Priyanka first of all for having me here. It's a wonderful experience to share my life journey with you here today. So I come from a small town Siliguri. ज़्यादा लोगों को तो नाम पता भी नहीं होती है. And
it's quite famous now.
Yes, absolutely. So मैंने अपनी पढ़ाई करी सिलीगुड़ी में. Then I was a pretty decent student, so my natural choice was science more because I was a curious student also. So then I went for my engineering because I was more inclined towards engineering karte hai, sort of.
And do you also have that choice which parents give, either you have to become a doctor or an engineer?
Yes, that was basic thing that people have in small towns. Either if you have taken science, either it will be doctor or it will be an engineer. So I chose the engineering path and I did my engineering in Siliguri itself. So after that, I got placed in Bosch from my campus placement, and then the journey took me from Siliguri to Coimbatore in Robert Bosch.
So your parents must be very happy because Bosch is a great company to start with. Sristy.
They were very happy actually, and it was a milestone moment for them also, because in our community it is not very much in the line that people go out for working, because men generally do businesses and women generally tend to be more on the homely side. So considering that, it was a big thing for them also because they had never seen this before, but they had faith in me and I wanted to do something in that field, so they were very happy to send me.
And before we move ahead, because you have mentioned that there's always a very different way in small towns how a man is treated and how a female is being treated. So who all are there in your family? Have you ever faced this challenge that as a female specifically? Obviously I can understand the family was very supportive.
Yes.
But how society responded to it?
My parents were very supportive. I have a brother also. So that dynamics did play out in my house, that okay, it was not a by default choice that women will go out and earn. So that was something that I had to make a statement in my way that, okay, this is something that I want to choose for myself. And society was like, my parents, they were very supportive, so they shielded me from the society's questions or inquisitions, see what is going on, or in that way. So I guess I did not have to personally bear that much of what society will think on this, because my parents were pretty much ki theek hai, we have faith in you, chalo karo.
And that's great. You're lucky. Even I can also feel I'm quite lucky on that part, hailing from Varanasi and then still faced quite similar choices and journeys so far. Okay, moving ahead. So you're all enjoying your life in Coimbatore as a software developer at Bosch. And then how this UPSC came into the picture? Like what made you motivated to, you should do something, for the impact part of it or for the nation building?
So my job was going wonderful in Bosch. I was working with clients, big clients, international clients, in developing software solutions for their systems. So mostly it was in the public transport, like the automotive coaches and all those things. So when I was working for that, the Bosch was the thing that gave me a platform where I could expand my perspective and horizons. So I started thinking that if at international level we have such open areas, we have such luxury in terms of public transportation, why don't we have similar thing in India? Why are people struggling so much in public transport? So I started noticing the things that were around me. I started seeing what is happening on roads, what is happening in the day-to-day activities. And then I started researching about it. What can be done and what more can I do? So that more wala thing was there with me. Then I came across something known as a UPSC exam. Now, in my family, there is no one who is from the government background. So my family, they don't know what is UPSC. So when I started researching about it, I came to know and I started getting interest in it because of the varied subjects that it had, and because it was like a very diverse things that you were to understand to clear this examination. So then my curiosity took in and I started researching and I made the decision, okay, why not give it a shot?
Okay, and I heard you like UPSC also you gave all your heart, soul to it, to the preparation, and I think that you have prepared for a good 3 years?
2.5 years.
So how difficult or easy for you to leave an established job as an engineer and then move to the UPSC preparation? And also I would like to know that whether have you done it full time or whether you continued with your job, and if you opted to do it full time, how have you convinced your parents for that?
So like with my job, I was more in the research field of it, ki mujhe karna hai ki nahi. So once I made up my mind that I want to do it, taking that decision to quit my job was a big thing, because the financial aspect of it was a major thing that I just could not ignore. Because coming from middle class family, we don't have the luxury to follow your dreams. We have to think in a strategic way that, okay, it should not be a big pressure on the family also, and we need to take care of the finances as well. So I took that decision. I convinced my family that this is something I want to do. I have faith in myself that maybe I can clear it. And so they were doubtful of the practical aspects, but since they believed in me, so they told, "ठीक है करो, हम साथ देते हैं."
And maybe it's quite relatable. So when we come from a middle class family, most of the time, no one is going to ask, okay, what is the nation building thing that you're going to do? Right? They're more concerned, okay, how much salary will you get?
Yes.
After doing this, right?
Yes.
So for UP, it's quite different. For Siliguri, it's different because everybody, again, have that dream. So apart from doctor and engineers, it's also an IAS officer, right? Okay, so yes.
So my preparation journey was filled with a lot of enlightenment and experiences. And then I started reading newspapers. I started reading about polity, economy, geography, everything. And then my I started connecting what I'm seeing every day with the knowledge that is there in the books. So, okay, like for example, I'm eating a plate of noodles. Where is this noodles coming from? How are they getting manufactured? What is the criteria that gives them the like the passing FSSI and all those things? So the questions started coming in my mind, and it helped me develop a holistic understanding of a topic that I could clear prelims and I appeared for mains.
That's great.
Yes.
So you cleared prelims in your first attempt?
No, I cleared it in the second attempt.
Second attempt,
yes,
okay.
and I cleared in the third as well. So I've written main 2 times.
You must be super intelligent, Sristy, then. You must be like in the top 10% of the people who apply for IS every year.
Yeah, so that was my UPSC journey in a nutshell.
Okay, so we all know that UPSC is being quite difficult exam. Every year, approximate 10 to 12 lakh young people aspire for that, to fill up the application form. But there's hardly a success rate of 0.1 to 0.2%, right?
Absolutely.
So what the people who are not able to clear maybe quite a little margin, that has happened with you also.
Yes.
In the second and third attempt,
Yes,
the margin
yes.
was quite less. But then they have studied a lot, their current affairs and a lot of subjects. So that's always posed a challenge. Ki then these people, are they aware how to navigate further? What are the career choices beyond IS, or beyond this traditional fields? Or maybe I have heard most of my friends were also there. They go to management, they just pursue MBA also choices. So yes, this is a very, very difficult question. In fact, I also feel that more than 85% of young people in India, they're still struggling to find out, answers for that.
Yes.
Moving next. Now we are here to demystify public policy. So jumping straight to the public policy. So then what made you decide, and on what stage you started exploring public policy? And then on what point you thought that this could be a legit career option for you also?
So after the final mains ka result came, I could not make it. I was at a crossroads of what to do next. So I had several options, like either I can go back to my software wala job, or I can go for higher studies or something similar in that aspect. Then I gave a thought that since I've studied so much regarding the social aspect and policy and regarding everything, I wanted to make a career in that field itself. So I started researching about it, Googling, and I approached a lot of people on LinkedIn as well, and I had conversations with people. And then I came to know about that there's something known as public policy. Because before that, even this term public policy as a career did not exist in my knowledge. So then I came to know about it and I researched about it, and I felt that it is a good fit for me. So then I applied for institutions and I got through Indian School of Public Policy, and then I did my course in that.
Okay, again I would love to explore the challenging part. Again, convincing a family, going back to a new career field that you are going to explore. How was that? Because I still remember one of the conversations we had some 2-3 years back, I think, when you had just started your program. And I've just asked randomly, so now still, do your parents know what exactly you're going to do after that?
Yeah. So, see, telling them, okay, mom, dad, I'm going to study public policy. Their first question was, what is it? They don't know. It's like they know MBA, engineering, doctor, lawyer.
Yeah.
Those are the mainstream things. They know that. So because I was at a loss of words at that time to bring out a definition to make them understand what I'm going to study.
That's the biggest challenge right now.
That was the biggest challenge for me. But I somehow made them keep this is something that relates to my ambitions of what I wanted to do after clearing UPSC. So somehow, with a half-baked knowledge and understanding, they agreed to convince. They agreed to it. They were like, "Okay, fine. If you want to go ahead."
Mission accomplished.
Yes. So it was challenging because this is not something that people generally know about. So, but they had faith in me, so they just went ahead with it.
And do you really feel that professional education in public policy was something that you really needed that time? And how much that has helped you?
I did feel the need for it because having a theoretical knowledge or having the base of an idea gives you a clear understanding of what you're going to do practically. Because unless you have that theoretical knowledge with you, whatever you try to do on ground might not come out the way you want it to. So taking a full-fledged program helped in ways that, okay, I have the information with me, now what do I do with it is the next thing. So in that way, it did help me to take a proper course in public policy.
That helped you.
Yes.
Okay. And now if I would just want to ask how, you're going to explain one day as a public policy professional in a consulting firm, because EY is one of those top 4, maybe dreams for many. I'm not saying public policy professionals, but dreams for many MBA graduates. Because every IIM graduates right now you hear, they either aspire for PwC, EY, big 4 companies. So how you define a day for yourself as a public policy professional there?
So after getting placed at EY, what I could see is that working there gives me a lot of exposure in terms of interacting with various stakeholders. In the sense that I am in the same room with government employees, I am in the same room discussing and brainstorming solutions with them. And that gives a sense of, I would say, accomplishment, that you are able to use your brains and come up with solutions. What I originally intended to do, to bring out solutions to certain problems. So in that aspect, working at a consulting firm in this field of public policy, it's like it brings out a different perspective as compared to an MBA graduate who has come there, because they purely think in terms of business. But when you are coming from public policy, you think about the other aspects that your business has impact on. So that nuanced aspect is there when you are working at a consulting firm, when you're working with government clients especially. So that is there.
As Sristy has mentioned that she always wanted to be a part of the solution, and that's what we are also trying to do with Public Policy Puzzle. So it might not be always about complaining, but it also find out the ways together that how we can be a part of the larger solution part. Okay. So Sristy, over to you again. If you have to make a simple people understand what exactly public policy is all about, how will you do that? And second, is it more about research, analysis, or implementation, or all 3 of that?
Okay, so understanding public policy in a very simple term, it is like a set of guidelines or a set of written rules, so to say, that help you execute something. For example, in a simple household, let's say, our parents have set up some policy that you should wake up early in the morning, you should help in cleaning the house, you should do everything. So that is the policy of a household.
I do it for my daughter most of the time, but most of the time it's vice versa as well.
Yes, that is true. So that is the policy of a house. Similarly, take it in a macro level. The government brings out certain rules, certain guidelines of how certain things are to be done, and that becomes the policy of a nation. So public policy means that only.
And what do you think? I myself has spoken to a lot many aspirants, public policy professionals, UPSC aspirants, students, right? Academicians as well. What is one thing which you think is the biggest misconception when it comes to public policy?
The biggest misconception exists that policy can be only made by government. Ki sarkar hi chalayegi. Now, that is true at a level of passing the bills professionally, but when it comes to policy making, even you, me, and each individual can bring an impact. Because once we have the requisite knowledge to do it, we can give our solutions and we can give our contributions. Because today government is also taking proactive steps. They are also inviting a lot of professionals and corporates to come together, sit at a table with them and then brainstorm solutions. So today it's not just the government's job to bring about policy. It's you, me, and it's everybody else that can take up the ownership. If they are passionate about something, if they want to bring a change in something, they can go ahead and do that. Sit at the same table and come up with solutions. At least decisions to unke haath mein hai, but they can come up with solutions that can help shape the policy of a nation in whatever aspect, be it climate change, be it environment, be it anything.
So this is really interesting. Okay, so I would just like to know, for the audience specifically, as a citizen, give me an example. What exactly they can do about it? So if somebody is sitting in any of those metro cities or tier 2 cities, let's say, how they can make an impact, or how even they can think about making an impact. I mean, this is more important. Making an impact is still a second part of that. First part is to make them understand how your role is quite important. And we all know that it all starts the way you get the right to vote.
Correct.
As soon as you turn 18 years old, right? But what else? Matlab, if you have to make them understand, as a normal citizen, we haven't been heard about public policy at all.
So, to think it in this way, let's say if you as a person have some problem in your household that you're not liking something, you go up to the elders, you say them ki mummy papa mujhe ye cheez achhi nahi lag rahi hai. They'll ask you why, you'll say the reason, then you'll suggest some solution ki aise karte hain to acha hoga. Similarly, if you have any solution for a problem you're seeing outside, why don't you propose that solution? Maybe publish some research papers on that. Maybe write a post on social media. So you can engage with your scholars around you, engage with people who are actively doing things in that field. So you can actively approach them if you have a solution to something, or if you want to just discuss about it also. There are ways to, because today we are in a hyper integrated connected world where everybody is just a button's click away. Yeah. You cannot give the excuse that, oh, that person, I don't know, how do I reach that person? There are ways to do that. So you can always reach out to people. You can gather like-minded people and form a community that can create an impact. Like there are a lot of NGOs that are doing a lot of work. So there are ways that a person can make an impact. It all depends on your willpower to bring about a change.
Really relatable. I am just imagining this. Okay, you are in a family, you are a kid. Yes. There are two ways to do it. This is all bullshit. My mom and dad is not gonna hear what I have to say.
Yes.
Kabhi manenge nahi wo. And second thing is ki no, go, sit down, talk, ki this is something which is bothering me and what more we can do about it.
Yes.
I'm not a public policy professional, but still I think I got it right.
Definitely.
Yeah. Okay. Moving to next again, coming back to when it comes to youth, right? I am assuming, and like you, most of the people, when they made a career choice to get into this public policy field, they might not be completely aware about that. Yeah. So what do you think should be the, we say skill sets, soft skills in terms of, that they should have specifically?
So first and foremost, I would say the most important skill which I feel is required is curiosity. You should be curious for everything that is around you. Whether it is मेरे घर में बिजली कैसे आ रही है, to say लेके to anything that you use phones on a daily basis. Are you aware of the laws that govern it? Are you aware how social media is impacting today's world? It can be in minutest of things, because when you have curiosity, it starts making you asking questions. When you ask questions, that's when you start walking on the path of finding answers. So unless you start asking questions, you will never know the solution to anything. So for curiosity is a very important skill to have. And second, I would say empathy is something that everybody should inculcate in today's world. Because when you're making a policy, you made policy for a set of people A. That can have impact on B also. But if you're not empathetic, you will only care about A and you will say, whatever happens to B, I don't care. But that should not happen, because everything that you do has ripples on multiple things. And you should be aware and empathetic on how to deal with that impacts as well. So unless you have the vision to understand that, making policies might be beneficial for one but disastrous for the other. So I think curiosity and empathy are the main two skills. Other than that, the aptitude and all these skills that are needed can be built over time. But these two are the things that I feel is most.
And if you talk about today's state, like India is progressing, have a very, we want to achieve Viksit Bharat 2047. There's a lot of talks are going on. We are into G20 presidency. A lot of people talking about climate change also. So for the young people, because India is a young country, we are known as a young country. So for the youth in this particular field, what kind of roles are emerging, or what kind of fields that they can look into, which could be quite crucial and quite beneficial at the same time for the public policy as in field and for the nation as a whole, and even for the globe, if we talk about.
So today's youth, I feel, can majorly contribute in the field of technology, because we see that AI is booming everywhere now. Papers are written in ChatGPT. So the youth today, they have a bit of more knack in terms of technology and using the latest technology that is there today. So I feel the youth might contribute in terms of using those technology to find out global problem solutions. Because let's say if you consider climate change or environment or anything today, tech is an integrated part of everything. So it can be a pivotal area using which you can find solutions around it that can help everybody.
So does this go for young people? Because we know that there is a flood of AI-based startups right now in India. It's good to make money out of it. AI is trending and there's a lot of amazing business ideas are emerging from it. But maybe that technology and AI can also play a substantial role in terms of when it comes to public policy. Serving your people, designing solutions which can help them at a much, much larger level. Sristy has also agreed that this is something, there's a lot of opportunities have been projected and they are coming. And even to the young budding entrepreneur, you can also think in that particular direction, social entrepreneurship, or, how
Absolutely,
that AI can change lives on scale specifically. Okay. There's one question when it comes to choosing a career field. So maybe the people would also like to judge specifically the family, the financial stability, right? So it's more or less, okay, you might be doing good for the nation. That's great. Super cool thing to do. You might doing something which may impact millions. That's also cool. But maybe at some point of time, they would like to know what will be your salary?
Yes.
How much can you earn? Because they are also like, they want to, first, in Indian parents, mostly if you say the definition of being settled is you should have a good salary or you should get married for a female.
Yes,
To someone who is having a good salary, yes. But yeah, this is also breaking at a much, much larger level now. We are being a progressive nation. But yes, how would you address that part? That what is the financial stability part when it comes to public policy as in field?
So Priyanka, I feel today a lot of public policy roles are opening up and people are becoming aware and people are realizing the need of having a public policy professional at a table who is delivering solutions. Because mostly what we have observed is it's an MBA person comes from a B school and they are working with government clients. But their major focus is on business aspect of it. But to have a holistic policy being designed around it, you need to have a public policy personnel on the table, and that the government and the corporates is realizing today. So when it comes to the financial aspects and salary, today I think they are being paid at par with the MBA graduates. So there is not a dearth, and there is not a dearth of jobs in the market also. And policy is seen like in Samaj Sarkar Bazaar, we say. So even if you want to go and work with NGOs, you want to work with corporates, you can work with governments, you can choose any field that interests you. So it's all up to you where you want to go. There are n number of jobs out there today, so that's not a problem, I feel.
Okay, and this is also a personal question. What do you enjoy the most being as a public policy professional right now?
I personally enjoy the satisfaction that I am doing something that delivers value to people. And that gives me the sense of joy, that drives me rather to do the work that I'm doing today.
Okay. And you know that we are also in public policy puzzle. We had a lot of conversations even before starting. In fact, you have been one of those key person who have a lot to say about, how you should do it and how to go about it. We are also just looking to build up a platform wherein we can actually help many people to understand this field particularly, because when they want to choose as a professional program for them, it shouldn't be like that they're making it just as a plan B or as an alternative because they're not able to get anything else anywhere. They should make an informed choice. What exactly this field looks like, pros, cons, fancy things and not so fancy things also. So anything like you would like to add upon on that front?
First of all, I feel what public policy puzzle is doing and trying to do, it is a game changer in terms of making people aware of what public policy is. Because when I was in my research era, the amount of information available was very, very limited. And I mostly relied on talking to people and getting an idea about it. And with a half-baked knowledge, I sort of jumped into it. But having a platform such as Public Policy Puzzle, where you get all the information and you can get mentors who can really guide you to what you want to do, that really helps, I think, in taking a decision that actually benefits you, makes you go to a place where you are the best fit. So I feel it is a wonderful initiative that you are going for, and all the luck and all the best to you for that.
Thank you so much. And yes, we are trying to reach out as many places as we can. Obviously, it's just starting out. So,
and who knows, maybe in Siliguri, I hear somebody saying, I enrolled in Public Policy Puzzle and I know about public policy.
Oh, thank
you.
You
should come to Siliguri as well, and tier 2, tier 3 cities.
Now you are throwing a challenge to us.
Yes.
Thank you. We are certainly trying to, looking forward to do that, Sristy. So it's been an amazing journey of Sristy, and in a way, she has also inspired me a lot and can inspire you as well. That how can you very smoothly navigate from one field to another field. And when it comes to public policy, right, whether you can be an engineer, you might be coming from liberal arts, you could be from science background, technical background, doesn't matter. Because when it comes to public policy, this is a field which is open for everyone. First, you should have the curiosity, as you have mentioned, you should have the empathy. I would also like to add, you should have that intent that you actually want to give back to the nation. So that's what, this is what exactly she has been quite inspiring for me. And at Public Policy Puzzle, we are here to share the real stories and most relatable stories with you, because you will also get a lot of information in terms of professional and everything. It's all over the places. But our point is to give you, jargon-free stories, no bluff, no very hi-fi fundas. Nothing like that, but very simple, real stories of the people who made their own way in their very unique style, you can say. And they have a very unique story to hold on. So thank you, Sristy.
Thank you, Priyanka. It was a wonderful experience.
And thank you for I'm consuming your Saturday for that. I'm so sorry for that.
No worries at all. It was a wonderful time with you, Priyanka.
Thanks. Today, it was nice chatting with Sristy. We heard her story, that how she has navigated from an engineering background to UPSC mains and then navigating quite successfully to public policy field. We heard that how she has told that what kind of struggle she has faced while convincing her family, how this field is for everyone if you have the empathy and curiosity and you also want to make an impact to the nation and for the many, what kind of skill sets you are having, and what kind of, irrespective of your field, you can come and be a public policy professional, how a day as a public policy professional look like to her. And as we are building a nation, we are aiming for Viksit Bharat by 2047, what role can youth play, specifically in terms of technology and AI advancements in public policy fields? And most important, she has also covered that there is a financial stability which this field is going to offer, because when we talk about government sectors, we talk about NGOs, we talk about private entities, there are many career opportunities which are emerging day by day across the fields, in government sector, in NGOs, in private entities, and there is a demand for public policy professionals as well, and they are paying decent. So yes, it's an open field, but you should explore it more, and we are here to help you out. You can visit to know more on www.publicpolicypuzzle.com. And if you also have a story to share, which can impact and help a lot many people, you can just send us an email at contact@publicpolicypuzzle.com. And don't forget to follow us. The link is there and also on this screen. So follow us on our social media pages as well. Send us your suggestions, anything, any feedback that you would like to share it with us. We're all ears to you. Thank you so much.